Bill and Jan Martin sat eating supper. Jan was the leading realtor in town. Everyone it seemed wanted her to list their house or property because of her success. Bill had a small engine shop that specialized in lawn mowers. Bill said, "I was looking in our closet and I didn't see any of your dresses there." "What happened to them?" "I gave them to the thrift shop. I always wear a black pantsuit for work and I find that they are more comfortable. But you always looked so nice in a dress. Besides, in every household one wears the pants and the other one wears a dress, at least sometimes. Why can't you get yourself a pretty feminine dress to wear?" "I don't care to wear a dress. If you think they are so great, you get one and wear it." "Oh, sure, like I am going to get one. I don't even know dress sizes and it's your place to get them. Let me think about it and see what I can come up with." The next day it was on Jan's mind all day about what Bill had said about wearing a dress. She didn't care to wear dresses. She recalled exactly what he said and developed a plan. At supper she asked him if he was serious about one member of the household wearing a dress. He told her he was. "I'll make you a deal. We can get some dresses if you will come shopping with me to pick them out. You want dresses in this house, that's the least you can do." He agreed to accompany her shopping. They left right after supper and she drove. They stopped at a large department store known for its selection of dresses. She headed for the dresses and coaxed him along, looking for the most feminine dresses she could find. She held up a black dress with red lace trim, and he agreed it was very feminine. Then there was a yellow one with lots of ruffles and ribbons. Then it was a lavender one that sported a sequin top with white lace around the hem. Then it was the pink one with white lace-trimmed ruffles. Then she said that new underclothes would be needed too. She asked him about many lace-trimmed and ruffled panties and petty pants and he agreed to most of them. They ended up with 6 pair. Then she asked him if he thought corsets were sexy and he said he did. They got 2 black ones. Then it was a couple of black long-line bras for when the corsets weren't worn. Then it was 2 sexy slips and some hosiery. She selected some jewelry that he liked. Dangly earrings, the longer the better. They checked out and she took him to a shoe store that advertised larger sizes. His eyes glazed as she showed him a pair of red pumps with 5-inch heels. Then it was a pink pair of strappy sandals with 5-inch heels. Then there was black strappy sandals. Then she saw black nylons with all sorts of designs in them, and got a half-dozen pairs. Then she saw the breast forms. He was looking at some other merchandise, so she slipped the largest ones she could find in with rest of the stuff. Then she saw the coolest brunette wig, one that could reach to his shoulders and rest on them, so feminine. She took all of the items to the checkout and paid for them. Finally, she collected him and asked him if he'd seen anything else that caught his eye. He told her he didn't and they were on their way. She made one more stop, at a store that specialized in beauty products. There she asked him if he liked the dark red or the pink false fingernails. He told her the dark red ones. She also got a bottle of fingernail polish in dark red. Then it was foundation, and when she asked him he chose the dark red lipstick. She asked him if he thought blush would be nice and he told her it would. They got all of the things home and she put them all away. She then joined him in the living room, saying, "Well, do you think what we got would make anyone look sexy?" "Oh, yes. It definitely would. Are you going to wear one of the outfits tomorrow?" "No, I will wear my usual outfit. People recognize me in my black pantsuit. Saturday will be fine for the clothes to be worn. Tomorrow's Friday, so they can wait." He sat there and envisioned how she would look in those clothes. Friday when she came home she was carrying a bag, but he didn't know what was in it. That night she told him she had taken the chicken out for tomorrow night when Clara and Ben Robinson were coming over for supper. When they went to bed, she put some things on the top of her dresser for the morning. Saturday morning she was up early. She had a cup of coffee before she started. She knew he usually slept until about 9:30 on Saturdays. When she went into the bedroom, she saw him lying on his side with both hands out in front. She knew he was a heavy sleeper, so she was confident that she could do what she wanted to do. She glued the bright red long false nails on him, wondering who would buy such long nails. Then a slight push on him and he turned on his back. He only wore pajama bottoms to bed, so his chest was open territory. She got the breast forms and glued them to his chest. They were huge, but he liked big-breasted women. He turned back on his side, but she got the black heels out and managed to get them locked onto his feet. When she saw he had his lower arm behind him, she grabbed the handcuffs and soon had his hands cuffed behind his back. He was starting to wake up. He started to sit up and swing his legs out of bed. Then tugged at the cuffs. He was still sleepy. He started to stand but fell back down on the bed. She saw he was finally fully awake. He saw her smiling. What in the blue blazes is going on? Today is Saturday, remember, it's dress day. It's time or you to get ready. What are you talking about? The other night, remember what you said? How did it go? One wears the pants and the other wears what? A dress. But I'm not the one to wear the dress, you are. What do they say about the one who makes all the decisions in a relationship? What do they say that person wears? They say that person wears the pants. What does that have to do with things? We have lived here for 7 years. It was my decision to buy this house. It was even my decision to buy that car you drive. I am going to polish your toenails now, so keep your feet still. During that time, I want you to remind me of one time you made a major decision around here. If you do, I will remove everything I've put on you so far. If you can't, it proves I wear the pants. If I wear the pants, what did you say about one wears the pants and the other wears what? In a very quiet voice he said dresses. She was doing his toenails in the shiny bright red. She started the toenails on his other foot when he had something to say. I made a decision about which dress was sexier. Remember? That wasn't a decision, that was an opinion. Why are my hands handcuffed behind my back? So you know who is in charge, and they're going to stay that way until you agree to wear a dress. Otherwise you can flop around the house with your tits bouncing, flashing your pretty, sexy nails. Are you going to put on the dress or do I leave you as you are? Think over what you are asking. Men don't wear dresses. Stop this nonsense right now. You were pretty sure the other night about one wearing the pants and one wearing the dresses, weren't you? You helped pick out all of the pretty clothes, didn't you? You made the statement that anyone would look sexy in them, didn't you? Yes, but you know what I meant. Listen, you are going to wear a dress, and the longer you take to decide, the longer you will wear a dress. Right now it might be today and tomorrow, but it can be made longer real easy. Just keep fighting it and you will be wearing them for a long, long time. If you give me so much as a little argument over wearing a dress, I'll make it longer. Do you understand? Okay, I'll put one on, but if I look stupid, can I take it off? You can take it off when I tell you that you can. If you complain about it, I'll just add more time on. Do you understand? I guess so. My patience is wearing thin. Are you going to wear the dress? I don't want to, but I guess you have me over a barrel. I will wear it. She unlocked his handcuffs. She unlocked his shoes. Then she slid the corset on him and tightened the laces. She wasn't done even when he complained that he couldn't breathe. She told him it was necessary for him to look sexy, and continued to tighten them. His figure had improved dramatically when she was done and had the laces tied off. Then she worked the stockings up his legs and attached them to his garters. Then came the panties. She saw he was hard and told him he must like it or he wouldn't be so hard. He felt embarrassed. She saw a change in his posture when she dropped the slip over his head. She knew he was starting to accept it. "Which dress was it you said looked the sexiest?" Mumbling in a low tone he said, "The black one." She quickly had the black one with the red lace trim on him. As she buttoned up the back she noticed it was a little tight. She thought that was all right because it would look sexier. She knew he wouldn't be able to get it off by himself. She then had him put his feet back into the heels. He told her he wouldn't be able to walk in them. She told him to point his toes straight ahead, then decided to rub it in some more. "You did say the heels looked sexy, didn't you?" "Yes, but I wasn't thinking I was going to be wearing them." "Well, you do look sexy. Everything you have on you said looked sexy to you. Now go sit on my vanity bench." He sat on her vanity bench and she did his makeup. When she was finished with that she surprised him with the wig. She got it on him and brushed it into a presentable picture, then put a black bowed hair ribbon in his hair. "You look just delightful. Turn around and look at yourself in the mirror and tell me you don't see a woman there." He turned around and looked. He saw his bright red lips and his hair with the ribbon. It really did look like a woman there, though he knew it was him. She told him to go have his morning cup of coffee. He stopped in front of the full-length mirror and again saw he indeed looked like a woman. He turned his head and saw the clip-on dangly earrings swing freely. Already his ears hurt from them. He tottered toward the kitchen. He was sipping his cup of coffee when Jan came and told him he could clean the living room. He asked why he should do it, as she'd always done it before. She told him to look at what each one was wearing and tell her who did it look should be doing it. He looked at her and saw she was wearing denim jeans and one of his shirts. He didn't answer. He wasn't even half done with the living room when he wondered how a woman could get anything done. His breasts were constantly in the way and his legs were starting to ache. The wig was hot and the hair kept getting in his face. Jan fixed lunch as he just finished the living room. She knew it had taken him longer than her, but she liked the way it looked. She told him he'd done a great job. She also told him that she'd fixed lunch as a thank you for doing the living room. "After lunch you better clean the grill for the chicken tonight. You know Ben Robinson notices things like that." "Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Robinsons coming tonight. You have to let me out of this before they get here. Ben Robinson will never let me live it down if he sees me in a dress. You are going to be wearing that dress when they come. Besides, I talked to Clara and told her I had made some definite changes in your dress habits, and if she was a prude not to come. I know her, and know she would get up off her deathbed to see what I was talking about. I also told her to talk to Ben about not saying anything derogatory about you, or teasing you. She said she would lay down the law to him. Sure, like he will listen to her. She controls him whether you believe it or not. I know, I have seen her in action and he does what she says. We'll see." After lunch he went and cleaned the grill until it looked like new. He was worried about Ben seeing him in a dress. He knew Ben would be a pain in the butt. He knew Ben was good at that. Jan was watching him out the window, and she just loved the way his rear swayed when he walked. She saw him go to pick up a piece of paper that was lying on the ground. He was walking on tiptoe because his heels plunged into the ground. She thought he was a fast learner. He came in and she went up to him and gave him a kiss, then said, "How's my sexy thing doing? Do you feel sexy in your sexy clothes?" "No, I don't." "Can't I just change and we can forget about it? Do you want to put one of your other sexy outfits on? Perhaps the pink dress or the lavender one? You know what I'm talking about. Why can't you see it my way? Do I have to remind you who said one wears the pants and the other wears the dresses?" "I did, but you know what I meant. Now let's end this nonsense right now. You are arguing with me so you can wear a dress for an extra day. The next time it will be for 2 days longer. Now, go and start marinating your chicken for supper." He knew he'd lost the argument and went to do as she said. He found it took some time to get used to the extra long fingernails. A half hour before the Robinsons were supposed to arrive, he approached Jan again. He figured she would listen and would let him get out of the dress and into his regular clothes. "Dear, I know now I shouldn't have said the things I said about one wearing a dress and one wearing the pants. I am really sorry I said that. Can't we forget I said it and return to the way we were before all of this nonsense started? I just can't face the Robinsons wearing a dress." "You will face them in a dress. If you want to change into one of your other ones I will let you, but you are going to be wearing a dress. Now, since you like to make baked potatoes with the chicken, isn't it time to start them?" She saw a look of total defeat come over him. He went to start the potatoes. He noticed his breathing in the corset was better now that he had control of it, and that it wasn't as hard to walk in the heels. He was feeling pretty proud of how he had adapted to the strange clothing. Jan came by and told him that she couldn't call him Bill when he was dressed like that. She suggested perhaps Faith or Jennifer, which sounded as feminine as he was dressed. He told her that he thought she was being ridiculous. "In that outfit you could pass for a French whore, so we will pick a lovely French-sounding name for you. How about Monique?" "I think you are being ridiculous again." "Monique it is then. From now on you will be Monique. Now thank me for your lovely sexy new name." "Like hell I will. Get off it and let me go change. We only have a few minutes before the Robinsons get here. For that outburst you can wear the dresses for 2 extra days. You are now up to Wednesday. Do you want to try for 4 more days? I think you should thank me for getting you such sexy clothes to wear, Monique. Tell me how you like them. You have until bedtime to tell me or I'll add the 4 more days." He knew she was serious, but there was no way he was going to tell her that. The Robinsons arrived, and Clara told him he looked beautiful in his dress. Ben said he looked like a hooker with all the lace and the heels. Clara reminded him of what she had told him about making remarks to Bill. "Oh, don't call him Bill, I decided his name should be Monique." "So call him Monique." "Monique, you even have a name like a hooker," said Ben. "Ben, one more remark like that and you will be in the same boat as he is. Do you understand?" Ben said he understood. Monique went out to start making the chicken, having put the potatoes in to bake earlier. Ben went out with him. The women remained in the living room as Jan told Clara every little detail of what had happened. The women decided to join the men outside, as it was so nice out. They were walking out of the door when they saw Ben looking closely at Monique's back. Clara asked, "What are you looking at?" "Oh, I was just looking for his wings." "All fairies have wings." "That's it." "Jan, can we borrow an outfit for Ben? I think he needs an attitude adjustment." "Sure, no problem. I'll take you in and you can pick one out. There is no way you are going to get me into a dress." Clara's hand shot up and she pinched his ear hard and twisted. He had no choice but to go with her. In the bedroom he still said he wasn't putting on a dress. Clara grabbed the first thing handy, Jan's long-handled hairbrush, and started spanking him. She told him she would stop when he agreed to put on the dress. He started crying. Monique heard everything through the open window and smiled when the crying started. After 18 smacks, Ben agreed. Clara stopped and told him to strip. Jan held out the yellow and the pink dress. Clara chose the yellow one. Jan got out a full change of clothes for him. Clara said it was lucky that both men were about the same size, and Jan left Clara to help Ben dress. Both Jan and Monique heard him protest that the corset was too tight, that he couldn't breathe, and heard Clara tell him to shut his mouth. They heard him plead like a little child with her not to do this. She told him he'd asked for it as she had warned him about his mouth before they got there. Then Monique laughed out loud when he clearly heard Ben ask if she really thought he could walk in those shoes. When he saw them again, the first thing Monique noticed was that Ben didn't have a wig on, but was sporting a cute yellow bow in his hair. Jan apologized about not having an extra wig, but Clara said they would be getting one tomorrow. Ben was walking as if he was about to fall. They were sitting down to eat when Clara tied a dish towel around Ben's neck. She told him he didn't want to get his sexy clothes spotted and ruined so soon after he got them. They started to eat and Clara said, "Monique, this meal is excellent. You did a great job. I love the taste of the chicken. By the way, Ben will be returning your clothes Monday. Tomorrow we are going shopping to get him his own dresses. He will have them all washed and ironed nicely for you." They ate, and it was quiet, which was especially unusual for Ben as he liked to talk. Soon it was time for dessert. There was apple pie with ice cream. It had just been set down in front of everyone when Clara said, "Ben, when I look at you, I think you no longer look like a Ben. What woman's name would you like to be called? I want you to end this madness. If you think I am going to continue to wear a dress, you're crazy. For that outburst you can wear a dress for 3 extra days. You are now up to 6 days. Do you want to shoot for 12? In a quiet voice of defeat he said he didn't want to try for 12. Monique smiled at his discomfort. Now, as long as you don't want to share a woman's name with us, we might as well pick one out. How does Bonnie sound? That way you don't have to change your initials. Bonnie Sue is perfect. Don't you think so, Bonnie Sue? He didn't answer. Clara continued. You either thank us for the beautiful name or I'll add the extra days. While you are at it, you better thank Monique for sharing his clothes with you. He didn't speak, so Clara in a harsh tone said, You have 10 seconds to start thanking us or it's 12 days. Thank you for the new name, and Monique, thank you for sharing your clothes with me. Monique and the 2 women smiled at Bonnie Sue's discomfort. Clara told Bonnie Sue to help Monique clean up. The women went into the living room to chat. The 2 men were alone. Bonnie Sue said, Thanks a lot. Now I have to wear a dress. It wasn't up to me. You did it to yourself. If you would have kept your mouth shut, you wouldn't be in this predicament. From the sound of your wife, you are in deeper trouble than I am. Monique saw Bonnie almost fall and told him to walk with his toes pointed straight ahead. He tried it and it did help. Do you have a corset on also? Clara has this one so tight I can hardly breathe. The trick is to take small breaths and not try to inhale a lot of air at any one time. It took me some time to get used to it. You are lucky that you don't have a wig on. They are really warm to wear. I heard Clara tell Jan that she was going to take me tomorrow to get the rest of the things I need plus dresses for me. Do you have any ideas on how to get out of this? No, if I did I would have been out of these before you arrived. They made some small chit-chat before going in to join the women, and finally the Robinsons left. Jan asked, "That wasn't so bad, was it?" "No, it wasn't. I really enjoyed Ben's discomfort when he ended up in a dress. Clara sure took control though. I have never seen her that angry at him. I know she has a temper. I was surprised when she asked if they could borrow one of your outfits. I didn't think she had that much strength in her. I had to laugh when he was walking, or should I say stumbling in those shoes. I did tell him to point his toes though. Now, how do you feel about wearing a dress? There are some good things about it. I kind of like the airiness under the skirt and the tickle of the skirt on the backs of my legs. I don't like the corset or the heels, and this wig is entirely too hot. If I had my choice I would wear my regular clothes, but I will do what you want. I think you've learned your lesson. Tomorrow I think I'll let you wear your regular clothes. You can stop wearing dresses." He got up and went and gave her a big kiss, then started laughing. "What's so funny?" his wife asked. "Can you see Ben's face when he brings that dress back and I am not wearing a dress? I want you to have a camera ready." They both laughed and went to bed.